promotion for sustainability events. We do the end-to-end of events, from the planning to the promotion to the branding and all of that. So we help other organizations host events, right? Brand them. So instead of them to go to pay maybe like an event planner somewhere who doesn't understand what they're trying to do, so we now come in. So we have a whole media team for that.
Now I get it.
And so we are hosting events, and it's interesting to know that in Port Harcourt, we are hosting the very first Port Harcourt Climate Week, and this event is going to be bringing all the ecosystem of from the government, agencies, involved, universities, the major universities, and
This event, is it just revolving around your niche or other aspects?
no.
Events you host and you help plan and manage. Is it just about climate?
Okay, so the issue of climate change is more like sustainability events. So sustainability events are, a whole lot. It could go from, for example, we are one of the organizations that are part of the Nigerian Electric Mobility Promoters Association. So within this organization or this association, we have over 30 organizations in Nigeria that are part of that network. So we are promoting electric vehicle adoption and manufacturing in Nigeria. So this is like a whole sector, within the transport sector, they're trying to decarbonize. Within the agricultural sector, so they're trying to also have sustainable events that they're able to talk about how we can secure food, the issue of food insecurity, transportation. So you can imagine the event we are going to be doing will be talking about how we are able to have this kind of sustainable transport system. You see, now I don't want to digress, but I'm just opening up your mind.
Talk about. Can we just hear more about what's really it's inspiring you to actually do this event for the entrepreneurs?
Yeah, so, okay, let me go back. And for the sake of our viewers, just to put a little context to some of the things I'm saying, because a lot of times when we hear about climate change, we always try to break it down. So, in 2015, Nigeria got into, and almost all the countries in the world got into agreements to say that we are going to reduce our carbon emissions, right? Because when these emissions go up into the air, they cause a lot of damages, and this is why we have been experiencing heat waves even in Port Harcourt. And Nigeria is one of the top 10 countries in the world that are experiencing these impacts, right? So now Nigeria went to sign this, and this means that we are looking at transitioning from what we call the fossil fuel based economy, which is like using fuel and diesel and all these things, right? We want to go into a renewable approach where it's going to be, less harmful and other energy technology. So what this means is that this transitioning is going to be creating a lot of jobs, millions of jobs in Nigeria. And these jobs come from whether within the transport sector, because Nigeria as a country is decarbonizing. So in Rivers State, in almost all the states, you have the climate change that's under the ministries of environment and even power sectors and all of that. So this is not like whether it's coming or not. These are like established institutions, right? And so a lot of young people don't even know that these things are happening, and they don't know that because of the transitioning of these energies, there are so much opportunities. So while we are going to be phasing out a lot of, even the cars, we're going to be phasing out a lot of the transport systems, and even within the agricultural system, we're going to also be changing And even with the way we live, especially like cooking, right, is a key aspect where there are so many jobs that are going to be created, and technology is driving all these jobs.
Yeah.
Right, so when I say we're doing events on sustainability, it could be that a company that is promoting electric cooking, and they are coming into Port Harcourt, and they want to get people to see what it is, because even in rural places and even some urban areas like Port Harcourt, you still see people cooking with firewoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's causing a lot of harm. Right, so now they want to maybe come and talk about this. So we understand what they are trying to do. So they are more likely to contact us to do this. So that's why I say you have to understand your niche. And we are trying to bring the whole electric vehicle system to the south of Nigeria. And we are talking to the major stakeholders. And so this Port Harcourt Climate Week is also an avenue. This time is not enough for us to talk about all this, but it's an avenue to have young people come together to see. So even if, like what you're doing now within the podcasting, is a great tool to build a niche around, to say that you can be from here and then everybody around the world is able to listen to you. So it's not only about contents of people dancing and doing comedy, you see. So programs like this are also very, very educative.
Yeah, that's amazing. But who will be knocking on the door like that? Does that person not know that this place is a
The camera is overheating.
Oh my God.
Please.
Why would you knock on the door like
I think
that?
you're shooting.
I was calling your line.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
So how long will you take for the camera to
It'll be like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
No, I'm good.
20 minutes too much, right?
Let's say like 10, 15.
15 minutes. Camera is overheating.
How is it every time too much?
But I feel like we've not really done anything. I feel like we're still in the surface because
Yeah,
you're
but-
still telling us what you do and all that.
Yeah, but you can cut some of them, right?
When we are teaching, we take off.
The parts.
Yeah, and the important ones will be.
So I think the main question here is the business aspect of you and how you've also scaled up your own personal business and how is it working for you, right? And
Yeah, you'll be surprised that a lot of people might also want some of these details,
Yes.
because
yes,
if you want to scale, let me say this. I feel like now, any information you want, you can get it online, right? I can go to ChatGPT and say, I can go to YouTube and say, I want to learn how to, but the power of your podcasting, is just to bring in the human face.
human face to say that thing that you're supposed to hear
Yes,
Based
to
on experience.
yes.
based on their experience.
Because AI will not give you answers.
Exactly. So maybe the kind of answers you want, I might not be the best person to give you those business breakdown, but I will
Now,
just
the main thing here is before you go into clean it, this your own aspect of what you're doing right now, the movement you're currently doing. I know you have. You said you have a digital marketing team,
yeah.
and that is what is the main thing, right? How is that working for you? How do you prove that? Because you're in the movement. It's not like me. I have a speculative skill in forex markets, and I'm still running this, right? So how am I scaling it? How am I doing that? How am I?
I kind of managed my skill.
So that is the main thing. That is the main thing. Are you like fixing it to what you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
or are you doing it here and doing it here? And how is capital a bridge to it? That is the main question. That is how is capital a bridge to it?
Okay.
The capital. How is it a bridge to it? And even though you don't have a capital, you're doing all these things. How can you build that capital to actually get capital, which you have already talked about? You understand?
Yeah,
So
but
if you have a capital, how can you do it? You have a capital, and you don't have a great idea. You don't have a great idea of what you can do with it. Just like I'm a forex trader now, I have a capital. Oh yeah. What can I do with that money?
yeah, you have to now learn. You have to now learn.
Yes, that's
You
it.
have to learn, you have to build your niche, you have to, because there's so many businesses out there.
See, and I think what our viewers really want is just honest conversations.
Yeah.
A lot of persons have talent, a lot of persons have what they are looking forward to doing, but there is no money to start. So let's tell them what really we did personally. Do you understand? Don't tell them what you feel they think they should get.
Yeah, but
You personally,
my
what you
journey
feel.
was I had money. True, because I was working.
So it's like the energy doesn't go off. Let them bring the camera. Let them bring the camera so that we can say everything there.
Share your story, be personal about
You
it.
just wanted to know, like.